Hey guys, ViewMasters reactions, and this is going to be the last trailer reaction I do today. I got a live stream coming up in about an hour and a half, 7 o'clock. So, gonna get this out quick. Well, I don't know how quick, because it's 30 minutes long. It's the one a lot of you have been asking me for. It is the Time-Lapse of the Future. It's the second video by Melodysheep is the name of the guy. Melodysheep, M-E-L-O-D-Y Sheep. The first one was the Time-Lapse of the Universe. I'm just going to get right into it, guys, because I can only assume it is going to show the future. The reverse of what we've seen. Here we go. What does our future hold? Everything has wonders and darkness and silence. Sorry, I had the volume off. You may never be truly certain. I hope it shows like cityscapes and stuff, like what it'll look like once it ages and deteriorates and stuff. We will travel through time except doubling the speed every 5. That's cool. I dig that, so it'll gradually get faster and faster.
Ended. What we do now and in the next few years will profoundly affect the next few thousand years. The only conditions modern humans have ever known so far are changing, and changing fast.
Oh, there's the cities getting, that's what I wanted to say.
Everything changes. The Earth is going into one of these jumps, and you don't know what is going to be on the other side of those jumps. The Earth is always jumping.
Well, we're already in the year 4000.
Things move on this planet.
I guess we all are dead.
Still. Everything is turning.
Sahara becomes the tropic. Oh, constellations begin to wander. Voyager passes the nearby star. Super volcano. That would be an awesome movie. Super volcano. The new Hawaiian Islands. After 1,000,000 years, the Apollo footprint fades. Deadly gamma ray burst. Oh my God. Antarctica melts. Uh-oh, guys. Get ready. 80 million years in the future. Major asteroid. A new supercontinent? What, it all formed together?
As it begins to run out of fuel, the sun won't simply fade away to nothing.
It'll collide.
Its core will collapse, and the extra heat this generates will cause its outer layers to expand.
That's crazy. Earth destroyed.
The sun is now dead. Its remains slowly cooling in the freezing temperatures of deep space.
That's crazy. So the sun would just start expanding because it's basically pressured, so to speak.
The sun is the same as for all stars. One day, they must all eventually die, and the cosmos will be plunged into eternal night.
After 650 billion years.
Eventually will run out of fuel. The temperature of the universe drops. The stars, one by one, in the night sky, will turn off. And
We're in
no more
trillions.
new stars created. And so that the universe will end not with a bang, but with a whimper.
That is so terrifyingly odd, but it's so far in the future. The last one's fading at 100 trillion years. So it's hundreds of trillions of years of nothingness. Let's hope we don't live that long. Our sun is a white dwarf 8,000 trillion
With no
years
fuel
later.
left to burn, a white dwarf's faint glow comes from the last residual heat from its extinguished furnace.
This video is
Looking
30
at it
minutes
from where
long.
the Earth is now, it would only generate the same amount of light as the full moon on a clear night. The faint glow of white dwarfs will provide the only illumination in a dark and empty void littered with dead stars and black holes.
7 million trillion years later. This is quite far.
In some ways, it's kind of a ghost universe. It's the corpses, the zombie stars, that will take us into the future.
The future? Why are we worrying about 74 million trillion years later? I mean, it looks cool, but I can't believe people study that far ahead. I'm assuming at some billion trillion year point, it's going to start forming a new galaxy. Accidental news stars by colliding. There we go. It's going to restart the whole thing, and it's going to be like the Earth again. Colliding neutron stars function the darkness supernova. So now things are ramming together, colliding, making shit happen. We're going to get us a new Earth. Look at that craziness. Neutron star collision. Degenerate. Any surviving life forms may find refuge around aging white dwarfs. So there are surviving life forms at this point. I'm assuming like single-celled organism type things. But in time, even the white dwarfs will fade and die. 1 trillion years
A black
later.
dwarf will be the final fate of those last stars. White dwarfs that have become so cold that they barely emit any more heat or light. Black dwarfs are dark, dense, decaying balls of degenerate matter,
That's weird.
little more than the ashes of stars. Their constituent atoms are so severely crushed that black dwarfs are 1,000,000 times denser than our sun.
1,000,000 times. I did not think we'd be going this far in the future.
We believe there are currently no black dwarfs in the universe.
That's crazy. Well, I guess the universe hasn't been around that long. Or that long. Any matter that fails to escape its enemies. Black holes? I feel like this is like a weird Stanley Kubrick movie. Black hole swallow. Alright, so we already knew that. So now, what is more explosions occurring? That looks beautiful. Rotational energy of black holes because of this. The rotating energy of black holes is the only form of power. So crazy.
We have a pace of life that's based on really the energy available to us now. You could imagine living conscious systems which have a very different pace and therefore can extend out at least a lot farther than you'd imagine otherwise. You could have a living system where if it had a thaw every 10 trillion years, that would seem normal.
It is going
Even
into...
if our life dies out, one could imagine at some time arbitrarily far in the future, a fluctuation occurs which allows intelligent life to exist again for a little while. So you might have islands in time of intelligence.
Are those like creatures hopping up and down? What is all that going on? As the expanse of the universe accelerates, it begins to spread energy. How, by this point, is the galaxy station? How does one predict the future that far ahead? That is, I mean, it's beautiful and I dig it, but that is very far-fetched to me. The secrets of the cosmos are locked. I mean, if there's an explanation of how they figure it out, I'd like to know. But I feel like a lot of that is speculation. Predict that atoms themselves will become...
A proton, one of the fundamental building blocks of atomic matter, of what makes us up, can just spontaneously fall apart.
Any material that evades the pull of a black hole eventually dies away as its protons disintegrate.
We are getting into almost 4 trillions of years. So literally the protons in the atoms are just falling
black
apart.
dwarfs, the last matter in the universe, will eventually evaporate away and be carried off into the void as radiation, leaving absolutely nothing behind.
So now is there going to be one little thing,
With the black
like the
dwarfs
never-ending
gone,
story, one little speck?
There won't be a single atom of matter left.
Except for the
All that will
Orin.
remain of our once rich cosmos will be particles of light and black holes.
Is that what it would look like? The black hole era begins. Oh, that's it? We only have to wait 1 million trillion years. No planets, no stars, no lingering stuff. When they said future, I thought it was going to be like a couple thousand years. I thought we were going to show the deterioration of cityscapes and the mountains and like Grand Canyon stuff. Not this scale. This is in another realm of future travel. Although this video isn't even half over yet, so there's a lot coming.
The arrow of time creates a bright window in the universe's adolescence, during which life is possible. But it's a window that doesn't stay open for long. As a fraction of the lifespan of the universe, as measured from its beginning to the evaporation of the last black hole, life, as we know it, is only possible for 1,000th of a billion billionth of a percent.
Doesn't that make you feel inconsistent with the world?
Black holes become the fundamental
We mean
building
nothing
block of
in
the
this
universe.
world, apparently.
A galaxy will basically be a supermassive black hole in a center with smaller black holes orbiting it.
Zombie galaxies filled with black holes.
Zombie galaxies? Never heard of that.
They'll eat each other and they'll get bigger, and maybe they'll fall into the supermassive black hole and it'll get bigger. The universe will still be an exciting, dynamic place. It's just that the timescales you're talking about are now trillions of years instead of thousands or millions of years.
Trillions of years. We're almost at 5 trillions. Black hole emerges, become the main event. So now black holes emerging together? Trillions times the mass of the sun. Is it just by default it's inevitably going to happen? Or is there a reason?
Time like mallets on a drum. And they have a very characteristic song. Imagine 2 black holes that have lived a long life together. At the end of their lives, they're going around each other, crossing thousands of kilometers in a fraction of a second. As they do so, they leave behind in their wake a ringing of space, an actual wave on space-time.
So we're going to have black holes banging and making more black holes? It looks like they're doing like a little romantic dance. Let's make black hole babies. Gotta restart the world.
Squeezes and stretches as it emanates out from these black holes banging on the universe.
I don't know if that was intentional.
Those are the gravitational waves. They are literally
Banging
the
on the
sounds of
universe.
space ringing. And they will travel out from these black holes at the speed of light as they ring down and coalesce to one spinning, quiet black hole.
I'm guessing this is where things get bright.
If you were standing near enough, your ear would resonate with the squeezing and stretching of space. You would literally hear the sound.
Because it's past the halfway point, so I'm guessing this is when things start getting rebuilt time.
Imagine a lighter black hole falling into a very heavy black hole. The sound you're hearing is a light black hole banging on space each time it gets close.
That's weird.
As it falls in, it gets faster and it gets louder.
Hey. It paused on me.
Scientists used to think
I thought that was intentional because it stopped.
even these would one day die.
Now we're talking about time scales of unimaginable length, quadrillions of years into the future. On that time scale, even the black holes begin to evaporate.
How? I mean, I guess it's just inevitable. Yeah, that was right. That it's going to happen. It's just
According to quantum mechanics,
it's a lot
space
to
is filled
think
with
about.
virtual particles, antiparticles, that are constantly materializing in pairs, separating, coming together again, and annihilating each other. In the presence of a black hole, one member of a pair of virtual particles may fall into the hole,
It's so weird.
leaving the other member without a partner with which to annihilate. The forsaken particle appears to be radiation emitted by the black hole.
Yeah, but what does it do? What becomes of it?
Black holes are not eternal. They evaporate away at an increasing rate until they vanish in a gigantic explosion.
Boom! Is that the new bang we need? The new Big Bang? So that...
Quantum mechanics has allowed particles and radiation to escape from the ultimate prison, a black hole.
Black holes begin to evaporate I see the last star. Now we got some firework display in the galaxy. Only gotta wait 8 trillion years. But eventually, we get some cool fireworks. This is black holes blowing up. Lots of billions of years. This is going on for billions. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're almost up to 7 trillion. Black holes slow down. The universe can expand. Driven by a mysterious force we don't yet understand. Yet? Guys, give up. If we're at this point, you don't yet understand. Frontier ripe for exploration and discovery.
Philosophers and poets have asked the question, will the world end in fire or ice? We can now give an answer. The latest evidence shows that the universe is not slowing down, but it's speeding up out of control. And the universe, we think, will die in ice. Trillions upon trillions of years from now.
Empty space itself has energy. In every little cubic centimeter of space, whether or not there's stuff, whether or not there's particles, matter, radiation, or whatever, there is still energy even in the space itself. And this energy, according to Einstein, exerts a push on the universe.
What is the weird stuff that's accelerating the universe? We call it dark energy. And this stuff is the dominant stuff of the universe. Almost 3/4 of the matter-energy content of the universe is this dark energy.
Whoa,
and
that's
we
a lot.
don't know what it is.
3/4 is stuff we have no explanation
Unlike matter
for.
or radiation, does not dilute away as the universe expands. This has crucial implications for what the universe is going to do in the future.
So what will be the future of the universe?
We don't know.
Well, if the dark energy remains dominant and repulsive, the universe will expand forever.
But with life or just darkness?
Faster and faster with time. A runaway universe.
But of just nothingness?
70% of the energy of the universe resides in empty space, and we don't understand why. But we do know what will happen. If that energy continues to be there, the universe will become cold and dark and empty.
So nothing. Bunch of nothingness that just keeps growing.
That's
The nothing
future
is
as it
growing.
might be. We don't know because we don't yet understand the nature of dark energy. Until we do, we won't know the future. We won't even understand our own origins, and that's why we want to know and study this subject.
What if there are aliens, and aliens know how to harness dark energy? Could change our vision of it. I was gonna say, if once we learn it, it might be the way we do crazy stuff. Very interesting. So now we're going beyond. We're going to the multiverse. Now we're in the multiverse somehow. So are these all the universes? Did we just go into a multiverse, or it was just explaining that? I'm thinking each one of these blobs is a universe in itself.
The forecast does seem to be for an ever colder, ever emptier universe. But then, of course, we have to ask, could that end lead to a new beginning?
That's what I was thinking in the beginning. But we're talking
And there are
freaking
ideas whereby
lot of time.
what actually is the end of our universe could in some sense be linked to the beginning of a new one.
I'm thinking that the energy somehow is going to form new life just like everything else, and it'll restart everything. That's crazy. So we survive by creating simulated universes?
We've worked out the mathematics, the equations. They seem to say that if you have an atom smasher that can concentrate tremendous amounts of energy at a single point, you can perhaps open up a gateway, a baby universe.
What? So we basically have to figure out the technology?
Facing the death of everything there is. This perhaps is their only possibility of escape. And this also raises a very intriguing possibility, sheer speculation of course, that perhaps any universe that has intelligent life in it will create baby universes, will create lifeboats, and proliferate child universes.
Baby universes.
So an evolution may take among universes in the multiverse. Survival of the fittest may take place. So those universes which do not have intelligent life are infertile. They have no children. But those universes that have mild temperatures, stars like us, would create civilizations that could open up child universes, and they would then proliferate.
Boom, boom. Might we escape theaters that Martians during the last remaining sequence? So the last super black hole is about to evaporate. Goodbye, beautiful universe that will now be darkness forever, even though I thought that happened 10 times already. So is this like the end? The radiation evaporating or whatever from it is going to form something new? Yet again, very beautiful. This is like, whereas the universe one was going up to current day, so you kind of know and learn stuff like that. This one is like super science fiction, even though it's basically based on real stuff, I'm assuming. I mean, they're studying it. I find it hard to believe that they can figure stuff out this far in advance. That's craziness. Like, if they're wrong about one thing, everything makes no sense. But it's cool.
After an unimaginable length of time, even the black holes will have evaporated, and the universe will be nothing but a sea of photons gradually tending towards the same temperature as the expansion of the universe cools them towards absolute zero.
Are we going to just end it on a bunch of nothingness, or is it going to start with the formation of the new
Once the very
universe?
last remnants of the very last stars have finally decayed away to nothing, and everything reaches the same temperature, the story of the universe finally comes to an end.
Is it really just...
For the first time in its life, the universe will be permanent and unchanging.
Is that how it's going to end?
Finally stops increasing because the cosmos cannot get any more disordered. Nothing happens, and it keeps not happening forever.
Well, that's depressing. That's depressing. I salute you, Melodysheep. So great, guys. What's the point of even trying if in 500 million, billion, trillion years we're all going to die anyway? That was a bleak future. I mean, granted, It is ridiculously far away, and I'm assuming this is based a lot on theories, clearly, because there's nothing to prove with 100% certainty that it's going to happen. I literally thought going into this, it was going to be maybe like the next 65 million years from now to when the dinosaurs, I thought maybe it was going to show from now to like 65 million years, like how buildings deteriorate, how like quickly shit can go downhill, and like the new life forms that would form, the evolution we would experience, stuff like that. I thought it was going to go down that road. It went the first 1,000 years in the first like 10 seconds. And then like by the time the first minute elapsed, it was like already millions of years in the future. Totally dig it. Very cool. Very beautiful. Just nothing like I thought it was going to be. I kind of dig those. Like I saw something once. It was a documentary, something on how the buildings and how the monuments and stuff would deteriorate over time, but it was at a much slower pace. It was like each second was like a month maybe. So it went quite slow, but still very cool, very different. Never seen anything like this. It was a bit long. Like, I guess that's what they had to do, considering they're going at trillions of years a second. I guess that's as fast as they could do it. Really cool. Just kind of bleak and depressing that it all amounts to meaningless nothingness forever, he said. I thought it was going to, at the end, it said forever. I thought it was going to go, forever? Like, question? He's just like, nope, forever. Bye. So, kind of depressing, but like I said, it is millions of trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of years later. So, very cool, guys. Let me know what you guys thought of it. I'm just going to throw it up like this. You guys let me know what you think. Comments down below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.